Okay. Evening. Caerlin's here. Oh, shit! They went to deal with the undead, right? Greetings, brave adventurers. Great morrow, Innkeeper. There seem to be a few more bones than usual to you, Skully. Is there? I can't tell. You observe correctly, my friend. They are wonderful parting gifts, aren't they? Sure are. That explains woeful little... That explains woeful little, Skully. I'm afraid you'll need a better explanation than that. And you shall not be disappointed, friend. You must excuse me. All this enthusiasm is just bouncing around in my skull. Let us know when it hits a corner. I will try to compose myself. This tale deserves the cracking of every last one of my rhetorical knuckles. Let us recount our tale properly, Dame Caerlin. Hang on. I think I could go for one of your drinks first. That could be arranged. Something to keep my strength up. I didn't get to flex my muscles much during our quest. A good one might net you a story. No pressure, Caerlin. Okay. Let's see. 3 strength. Sailor's courage. Why not? This'll work. We just need 3 of these. And 1 of these. There we go. Nice. A great drink for a great story. Aren't you lucky? I'd like to think luck has nothing to do with it. Perhaps not. I might have something else to cheer you up. Oh? Melly's back. Oh! Relieved? Like a great sword's been lifted off my shoulders. Is she alright? Yes, though you might prefer to see for yourself. She and Dave left me their address to give to you. Who? Ah, you know them. Right, got it. Only one person would fit such an uninspired name. They better have apologized to Melly or else. You'll have to find out the details for yourself. Just don't keep them waiting too long. Don't need to tell me that. Table isn't back then. No. Sure are taking their time. Feel like looking for them yet? No, they're capable. Just my patience is starting to wear thin. You had some to begin with? You're pretty chatty for someone within great sword distance. Right. Can I interest you in one of my drinks as well, Skully? With an offer like that, my friend, how could a skeleton say no? Perhaps something to enhance my aura. I would like to do the proclamation of this tale proper justice. I guess that's charisma? Is that charisma? Charisma. Oh, sunny breeze. Sunny breeze for a sunny skeleton. One, 2, 3. There you go. Please enjoy. Oh my. They say manners maketh the man. But this drink alone has invigorated me plenty. I almost feel the warmth of flesh on my bones again. Pleasure to be of service? Our quest was confusing. Inspiring. My favorite flavor of quest. Not enough fighting, in my opinion. Felt like my muscles were wasting away on the way back here. But the most important muscle of all received a superb workout. The brain. Metaphorically for me, of course. I've been wondering about that, actually. No. We're not going to start get started on that topic. I do have to agree, my friend. Let's not get distracted. Though I would be delighted to share my theories with you, Innkeeper. Let me know when you have an hour to spare, or 5. Now, back to the task at hand. We started by making our way westward, though our progress was slow. Any complications? Yes, quite a few. Before embarking on the journey, I was woefully ignorant about the plight of Fisoan farmers. The less than ideal weather conditions, the flood that ruined a lot of crops, and now this pesky undead problem. I was stricken with empathy for their struggle. The least we could have done was offer up our means of transportation for any soul looking for a better life further north. So we switched carriages. 3 times. By the 3rd time we had gotten so far off course, it took a whole day just to get back on track, on foot. But once our hike was over, we did get to spend a wonderful afternoon with Dame Aylin's cousin, Lady Danica. That was nice, I guess. The cousin with the undead snail problem? Did you manage to liven up that garden for her? Sure did. Just had to set out some cabbages to lead them somewhere we wouldn't be damaging any crops. And with just one magnificent strike, truly a sight to behold. It was just some undead snails. No need to have gotten so excited. To match that excitement, Lady Danica served us some positively delightful cups of tea. Better than any accompanying finger sandwiches were some news facts that I had gleaned from observing the snails. Even lacking souls, they still displayed some pack behavior. Are snails pack animals? I don't know. They acted nothing like real snails, of course, but somehow I was struck with empathy for their plight. To unconsciously seek out a manner of instinctual action, despite the lack of anything to grant them a conscious objective. Is there a more transparent yearning for purpose than that? My apologies. It appears what they say about old age is true. You can't help but philosophize. And you couldn't help but relate? In a way. One can't help but wonder whether any choice I make is truly my own, or a post-mortem reflex of those old bones. Perhaps even my thirst for knowledge. And your enjoyment of it seems genuine. Truly, Innkeeper, you have such a way with words. Just lots of experience. Though that may be, my worries seem rather foolish now. I count myself quite fortuitous that despite all that my memory lacks, I can still delight in learning it all again. Does it really matter where such an urge comes from? Anyhow, my apologies, Dame Caerlin. I completely derailed our epic tale. Allow me to make up for it by continuing post-haste. We departed after the lovely cup of tea and finally headed into the Pale Woods. Lady Danica provided us with a cart and a trusty steed, a cow with a most lovely temperament. Her name's Lizelette. I made sure to greet the gentleman that passed us on the way to the woods. What magnificent shadow armor he was wearing. Interesting. Shadow armor. Something about it felt oddly familiar. Perhaps it was only my hope that we would look just as gallant after our quest. Lizelette valiantly took us to the edge of the forest where maliciousness permeated the very air we breathed. What he means is it stunk real bad. We left Lizelette there. Sparing her the stench seemed like the right thing to do. And forth we ventured. Didn't take long to find what we were looking for. The place was crawling with them. Which explained the bleep smell. For some reason, the miasma didn't seem to bother me much. Most respectfully, you don't have a nose. Oh, of course. Anyways. There was a veritable horde before us, an army of undead creatures shambling their way through the forest. One nod tree at a time. They were awfully interested in those trees, it's true. I was itching to tear into them. But remembering the plan, I stepped back with my hand on my greatsword. The crucial part of successful negotiation is that you don't go in blind, and so we observed. The undead creatures were displaying similar patterns to those snails. They weren't just stumbling around senselessly. They seemed to be following a pack leader. A representative. That simplified things considerably. My first course of action was clear. I let Dame Caerlin know my intentions. Seemed reasonable enough. While I circled the group to get to the leader at the front, she remained hidden in the shadows of the thicket. I walked up to the leader, another skeleton, making sure I displayed an open and respectful disposition. I suppose they were not open and respectful in return? Nope. Before I could even react, the skeleton had bitten down on Skully's arm. Agony! Is what I would have said if I hadn't been protected by my frost armor and your excellent drink mixing skills. Always glad to hear my drinks are protecting my clients on their quests. My friend, your drinks are astonishingly potent. Maybe too potent. As soon as the undead creature bit down, their teeth shattered upon impact. The leader recoiled immediately. All the others surrounding us froze. The leader fell to the ground, cradling their face in their hands. Curiously, when they regained their composure, their expression was filled with joy. Still no idea how you can read the expression on a skull. They were actually quite expressive for a skeleton. Do they express themselves through vibes? I think Skully has expressions. He raises his eyebrows sometimes. He gets like a little blush on his cheeks once in a while. You just have to get used to looking a little harder for them. Now you're just pulling my paw. I have no problem reading Skully's expressions. He has a beautiful smile. Now you're just making me blush, you rascal. Let's move on. The teeth shattering was quite worrying. It made me re-examine the bite marks on the trees around us. Peculiarly, the bite marks were quite a bit more shallow than what we had seen in other parts of the forest. Which means all those undead creatures had severe dental issues. The leader was so happy because the frost armor's chill was dulling their pain. The others' teeth were also in truly poor condition. And looking at their behavior, that seemed to be causing them severe pain. Coupled with their hunger for trees, it became a never-ending cycle of suffering. It should have never have gotten that bad. See, look, that's an expression. I asked them why they hadn't reported the issue to their necromancer. It was clearly starting to impact the fulfillment of their objective. That got him really heated. They tried to rip Skully apart again. But Dame Caerlin skillfully resolved the situation with a bit of intimidation. It turns out they didn't even have dental. Caerlin? I'm with Skully on this one. They had no benefits, nothing. They were just expected to be quiet and follow orders. That doesn't sound right to me. Oh my god. Every once in a while I get an achievement when somebody comes back from a quest. This one popped up and it said unionize. And I was like, that's weird. But they're actually made the undead unionize. It's a scam, that's what it is. No sick leave, no compensation, no PTO. They didn't want to hear it. We're doing what we love. We don't need any fancy benefits. But you should have seen the state they were in. They couldn't even take a proper chomp out of the tree's outer bark anymore. What would happen when their teeth deteriorated even further? Their necromancer would replace them with another undead creature in a heartbeat. That's when Skully really got him, I think. The words were just pouring out of my mouth, and I was elated they were the right ones. The light reflecting off the frost armor really dazzled him, too. Any skeleton worth their calcium should be able to acquire such armor. They needn't... He's real worked up. They needn't be bound by such neglectful necromancer. My apologies. It appears I somewhat lost my composure just now. You might soon be contacted to host the first UFU gathering, Innkeeper. Union for the Undead. UFU 1755. Never forget your roots. Because they eat trees. Oh my god. It's so stupid. Oh, but I love the humor in this game. So dumb. They're welcome to visit anytime. I think they really want to improve their situation. Most respectably, they promise to leave the Pale Woods alone as well. One of UFU's goals is to find a more sustainable way to deal with their obsession eventually. They're heading for the Necromancer now. There are a bunch of demands to settle. They graced us with a great deal of parting gifts before we left. We got the hallux that broke off one of them when they attacked Dame Caerlin. Their leader gave me the teeth they couldn't put back into their skull. Oh, and his eyeball. I'm overjoyed I'm overjoyed we managed to resolve our quest in a peaceful manner. Can't deny the resolution was pretty effective. Good to know you're both happy about how it ended. Those are the outcomes I enjoy most hearing about from my patrons. Oh, but we did get something else as well, Innkeeper. Right. Here. The trees looked really chewed on and dead, but the berries seemed like they were thriving. They're the ones Elfie was going on about. Not like they're here to appreciate him now, so I guess you can have them. Just set some aside to make Fable a drink when they're back. Sounds fair. Ghost berries. Cool. Also, while I was plucking the berries, the spirits of the trees gave us a little keepsake. Because they were so glad we stopped all the gnawing. Sadly, I don't have any storage space left in my hat. So we wanted you to have it as well. Now we can always indulge in the sweet memories when we visit. I think I know just the place for it. Thank you very much. Did we get it already? Skully, have you ever thought of becoming an advocate for this kind of stuff? Not that I usually stand them. Not that I can usually stand them, but you seem to really care about all this. Oh no, I'm a mere heap of bones, here to learn all I can. But it is a gentleman's way to speak out when evil is committed in front of you. So I don't suppose I will stop doing just that anytime soon. Sounds good to me. I still wonder what all those undead creatures were doing there. No idea, we didn't ask. Hunger? Seemed to be heading north before we talked to them. Maybe they were searching for more trees? The Pale Woods is one of the largest forests in Fasoa. I don't see a reason for them to leave the area before it's barren. Unless they were ordered to. Don't they typically come with a necromancer attached? You don't suppose the gentleman we encountered outside the woods could have been that very necromancer? I don't think farmers wear armor like that, like what you just described. Oh, if I had known what a dastardly, negligent necromancer they were, I would never have offered that greeting. Bleep. Just realized where they could be headed. It's true there aren't many woods around here that compare to the Pale Woods, but that giant root in the capital must look pretty good to some tree-obsessed undeads. There might be tons more headed there even now. Bleep indeed. Shit. Just to clarify, you believe hordes of undead creatures are marching toward the capital? Well, towards the roots would be my guess. I see. They're headed toward Themis to gnaw on the divine roots, as if to fell the Aether Tree? Precisely. Not that such an action alone could destroy the whole thing, but it would certainly do some damage. What in the bleep are you talking about? As I just stated, someone is trying to destroy the Aether Tree. The Starfall, the primordial flood, even the interplanar portals, it's all a big plot. Was that not clear? No. Oh my, that's awful. And insane if true. Is it working? Unfortunately so. Or do you see stars in the night sky? I mean, there's one. There used to be more. And we don't know who's behind it yet either. Well, Caerlin, Mr. Skully, the gentle person you greeted outside the woods, you thought he might be a necromancer? He certainly bore the armor of one. Did he seem like he wanted to kill everyone? Not particularly, though it can be hard to tell sometimes. Politeness and the desire for homicide aren't necessarily mutually exclusive. Necromancers resurrect dead things to make undead creatures. Indeed they do. So, Skully, you were resurrected, right? Do you remember anything about it? Well, I admit, at first I recalled very little from the start of my new life. Mostly I stumbled about trying to remember my manners. But my memories, or rather the memories of my body, which I suppose are my only memories, are also my memories, have been getting clearer lately. Let me try to refocus my thoughts. I believe I awakened in the archives, in the Everbloom. The Everbloom? Did you encounter any Bleakstalkers? Why, I did indeed. They seemed very hungry for my bones. Such interesting creatures. They remind me of the old intellect wombats. Do those beasts still roam Fasoa? No. What are intellect wombats? Priorities, Tia. Skully, who woke you up? Gentleman of fine age. I believe he was there to do research? I remember candles all over, held over notes scribbled on paper, ink stains on fingertips. He must have found me near my friend's study. I remember I was looking for her when... After I woke, I simply left. How rude and uninquisitive of me. I should have asked what he was researching. I could have helped. Be glad you didn't aid him. We found his notes. They spoke of destruction of the universe. Did the guy from the woods remind you of the one in the archives? Now that you mention it, I wasn't conscious enough to recognize faces when I rose, but I knew that armor looked familiar. I think I saw it when I first reopened my eyes. Metaphorically, of course, I no longer have eyelids. A necromancer behind all this. Is he trying to break the sigils just to get Tuat, the spirit dragon in the realm of death? Sigils? Are you perchance speaking of the sigils of Alcest? My friend was researching them once. I always thought them a wild figment of her imagination. Seems like they're not, unfortunately. Do necromancers usually want to destroy Tuat? No, but they do defy his laws of life and death. Perhaps he craves access to all the souls the spirit dragon guards. Or perhaps he plans to destroy death once and for all with his perversions. But my dears, to destroy Tuat, one must find him first. That in itself would be quite the impossible task, no? Not exactly. The spirit realm is well protected, but there are ways to get to him. Can you kill death? I don't know, but merely attempting it sounds disastrous. Miss Anwar, Mr. Moore, Tuat is the god of death. No matter how insane the necromancer, no one could possess a weapon powerful enough to fight a god. Only weapons made by the dragons can harm them. We all know this. You mean like Ur's great axe? A weapon forged for the dragons by the dragons, meant only for their claws. The axe. It could certainly cut through the barrier between the astral sea and the upper world, if not through Tuat himself. Would stealing an axe from a dragon count as a sigil? Alright, y'all lost me again. I talked about this already, keep up. I'll explain later. It might count as a sigil if it awakens or damages their plane. Should not be awakened under any circumstances. Nor should their legacy weapon fall into the hands of a mere mortal. My, this is quite concerning. I wouldn't worry about it too. Yeah, I'm right there with you. This seems like too insane of a plot. Even for some big bad evil guy. I mean, you know who it is! This is the crazy part. I don't understand why whatever our secret is so secret that we can't just share what we know to help fill in the gaps here, right? Like, who is this person? I wonder if we can see this letter again. I'd love to see that letter again. Ominous letter. My dearest friend, long has it been... So this was given... If you remember, Kyle told us that there was a guy wearing shadow armor that gave him this letter and told him to... Something about how we were kidding ourselves and we were... Anyway. It was like a like a pretend thing, like we were hiding from something. My dearest friend, long has it been since we last talked. Long has it been since everything has been seared away by the cold flames of death. Okay, that's making more sense now. Maybe he's undead? I wish I could still remember our last conversation, but it's a waning memory. I can only imagine how you enjoyed running away, wishing to forget whatever was between us. Maybe you did for a brief moment. For these last 30 years. 30 years! That was when the Twilight portals opened. If you did, I'm writing this letter to kindly remind you of the good old times. To celebrate our reunion, I invite you to the spectacle of the century. The last day of the astral moon, welcoming the first light of the dying moon, where the realm of Tuat is just a grasp away. So there's a reference to Tuat. Are there any spirits you'd like to remember? Are you afraid of what they might tell you? Worry not, I'll be right there. Watch the sky closely. On the 35th, it wasn't the 39th, it was the 35th. So that's only like a few days away. See you soon, an old friend. Okay, so we've got a few like hints here. Some interesting ones. So the cold flames of death. Either they died or we died. Are we like, were we resurrected at some point by the sky and we've escaped? Were we working with him? Like 30 years. That's very specific. 30 years, the portal's open. So what happened 30 years ago and what did we have to do with the portals open? If this is the person that is trying to break these sigils. Interesting. Okay, the pieces start falling together. Even for some big bad evil guy. Or BBEG, just in case you're in the know. They always seem to be reaching for new heights in their dastardly schemes. If we were correct, this one plans to steal Ur's weapon, break their sigil, and then destroy Tuat. Dragons be with us. What about the undead creatures marching towards the capital? They must be a distraction, a way to keep anyone who would interfere off his back. Quite the dangerous distraction, if you ask me. Those poor husks shouldn't be snacking away on those roots either way. Should they? No. Those sigils of alcohol? Zest you keep talking about? Alcohol zest? Could do that? Destroy the tree? Spirit realm rests above all others in the canopy of our world. If what we believe to be this monster's plans succeed, it will collapse down into the onto the rest of the Aether Tree. Not only would the tree would that free all dead souls, it would destroy the tree, our home, our cosmos, and everything below it. It would destroy our world as we know it. Not to mention, Tuat might die. I don't think I have to explain why dying would be a big thing. Once again, can he die? Wouldn't risk it. Though I believe this plot of his has to be limited somewhat, no? Perhaps to the transitional period between the astral moon and the dying moon. Only then would the veil between Cassiopeia and Tuat be thin enough for a ritual of such magnitude to succeed. Wait, you mean this can only happen in the night between the 35th of Cassiopeia and the 1st of Tuat? So it can only work in 4 days, or next year? Precisely. I guess you can't have a ritual without unnecessarily complicated rules. It is common courtesy. Clay, I've been wondering, remember the man we saw on our way back near Mara Castle? Yes, do you think he might be the same guy? I do. Strange armor sounds familiar, as does the convenient proximity to the destruction. And more so, that blood of the first vampire Kyle spoke of. Part of the ritual to safely traverse the astral sea involves having an associated anchor for your destination. To find Tuat, you need something connected to him. Like the blood of vampire eternally bound to him? Yes, maybe our villain got his hands on it. Perhaps he knows more of Cassiopeia than I anticipated. All this out of context bleep is giving me a headache. Innkeep, got another drink to spare to help me with this mess? Something powerful to get me through this? Anything for you, Caerlin. Oof, okay. Something powerful. Oh, this is still intellect. It's just, okay. I'm dumb. I am dumb. All right, Southern Brawler this time. I can't be bothered to make another one of those crazy ones. 1, 2, 3. One of those. And one of these. I put all the strength I have into this drink. Enjoy. I think you just put parts of my sanity back together. Thanks a lot. Anytime. So, this madman, if he can't get the axe, he can't kill the spirit dragon, right? Correct. Great. Let's stop him from getting the axe then. Great idea. I know. Now, how do we do that? Well, first, the necromancer needs to find it. For that, he'd have to get to Ur's realm. Thanks to the portals, that's entirely within the realm of possibility. One would simply have to journey through one of the portals to the Twilight Chasm, and then enter the endless caves through the Nightmare Realm. Nothing easier than that. Did Melly see some weird new bone waymarkers in the Twilight Chasm portal in the moon's... Didn't Melly see some weird new bone waymarkers near the Twilight Chasm portal in the moon swamps? Could be there to remind someone, say a necromancer, of the way to the portal. They could. Good, the moon portals are much easier to reach than Boreas. We should catch the necromancer before he ventures into the chasm, and most certainly before he gets the axe. Great, let's go beat his... Hold on. What if he's right? God, what if he is right? I so want to click on that second one and just watch these faces just go from nice, neutral, semi-happy faces to horror. What if you don't succeed? I have faith in you, but he sounds powerful. How about a backup plan? Hate to say it, but you're not wrong. Thanks for looking out for us. If we don't manage to stop him from getting the weapon, we stand no chance in a fight against him. Even your divine strikes would be no match, Miss Anwar. That is true. We would need an incredibly powerful weapon to match his. Not sure if it's enough, but I do have this sword from my Baba. Let me see it. This is remarkable craftsmanship, infused with minor divine powers. Incredible. But I'm afraid even this cannot rival the great axe in any capacity. What if it was mixed with dragonfire? What? Do you happen to have such a thing on hand, young lad? No, but I know where we could find some. The ever-burning flame in the Highlands is dragonfire. The one you wanted to see, Tia. I think now might be a good time for that. You're right. Dragonfire merged with Caerlin's blessed sword. It wouldn't be as powerful as the axe, but it might give us a fighting chance. If we had a master craftsman to forge it, that is. Ah, I think we know a master craftsman. Rhea. She's a blacksmith. There's no one better for the job. I'm sure she'd love to forge such a weapon. And I'm sure you can convince her of the importance, Caerlin. You got that right. Leave the blacksmith recruiting to me. Very well. I'm sure Mastersmith Frostgrip will be delighted with this opportunity. Having her on our side makes me even more confident that we can stop this necromancer's plans. I have the utmost faith in us. And I know the aperture and its astral portal are well protected even if we should fail. Though I don't believe we will. Because I know I'm strong enough to best this battle, and that Clay is as well. And the others too. Yes, the others too. I'll be honest, I'm not sure if the 4 of you will be enough. Don't worry, there's more people we can ask for help. Like you. Like me. I prefer if you kept me out of this. Go ahead, ask. I knew we could count on you. You collect everything we talk about, right? I try my best. Could you write up 2 quests for all this? I think we should split our resources so that we get the backup plan going at the same time. Good idea, young man. Plus, it'll give us an excuse to have your drinks help us. Not that you need an excuse, but I appreciate you following my rituals. I'll see what I can do. I should have something written up first thing in the morning. I trust you as you trust in us. Deeply. Yes. Deeply, and with the knowledge that together we are stronger. We'll see you in the morning then. Caerlin, come with us. We owe you a few explanations before we make you do any persuasion work for us. You got that right. Let's go. I cannot miss out on more possible details. I shall see you in the morning, Innkeep. Thank you for all your help. Let's save the world, all right? Let's, Clay. Good luck. Holy cannoli! What a day! All right, plum crepes. So, quests. These are no longer organized. Wondrous Plane of can be accessed through the Twilight Chasm. Weapon forged with Dragonfire can resist the Draconic weapon's power. Okay, so those 2 are together. So I used to be following like these little drawings and stuff, but doesn't work that way anymore. Okay, so those are together. Plum crepes and spooky armor. That one's over there. Capital's wrapped in roots. Aims for the destruction of the Aether Tree. Capital is wrapped in roots protected by the divine. According to the myth. Maybe that was like that. According to the myth, as ancient as time, these are the roots of the Aether Tree. Less dangerous. These undead can't get enough fiber. Better tree to chomp down than the Aether Tree itself. What could possibly go wrong? The Dead Parade. A horde of undead is approaching the capital. Their insatiable hunger for the local flora leads them to the exposed roots of the Aether Tree, and therefore the capital of Themis, since it lies nestled in the safety of the roots. This is a mere distraction so the necromancer can fulfill his true plan, but the undead must still be stopped before they hunger for flesh once more. Okay. So, Caerlin's Greatsword. There we go. Heir of Dragonfire. Only a weapon forged with Dragonfire could ever dream to hold up against the legendary Great Axe of Ur. Luckily, a temple in the Highlands houses the ever-burning flame, an ancient gift from the dragons that'll come in handy right about now. And what better sword to reshape with this flame than another gift from the Realm Keepers, an heirloom passed down to Caerlin with heroism scorched into its very essence. And one more. There we go. Twilight Chase. World calamity is imminent. And there is one way to save it. The only weapon strong enough to harm Tuat and the Aether Tree is the legendary Great Axe of Ur. The personification of evil wants it desperately, but first, he must make it through the Twilight Chasm, and for that, he needs a portal. Sounds like a good location to stop him, right? Here we go. Gotta feed Andu. Sweep everything up. And blow out the candles so that the inn doesn't burn down. Seems like small potatoes these days though, right? Oh, alright. Twilight Zinnias. That's the 32nd of Astral Moon. Well guys, that was almost an hour and 30 minutes for one day. I wasn't expecting it to be that long, but a lot of stuff happened. We got a lot of our plot reveals. I feel like we're entering the final phase of this story. And I'm interested to find out what the heck is up with the Innkeeper. Suspicious. Still very suspicious. Still holding stuff back. You know, the Innkeeper. Yeah, so I'm excited to see what kind of ending we get when we get there. I imagine that there's gonna be... Yeah, I mean, we'll probably play through these days one after another. It's the 32nd, and the day that we're talking about that is the day of do or die is the 35th, so... Okay, everybody, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for continuing to support the series. If you are, I really appreciate it. I know it's been a long one, but it seems like we're coming to an end. So yeah, I'm excited. Thank you so much. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!